Hi, I'm Sam Ushio, the host of Ikigai Stories. This podcast showcases the quest for alignment between actions and priorities by sharing powerful, inspirational stories of people who are living life with intention. For me, it's a personal and a professional mission. I worked in the corporate world of financial services for nearly 20 years. And in doing that work, I coached, consulted, and led thousands of financial advisors. Over time, I began to notice that the word growth was used everywhere in the industry, but it was narrowly defined by money. Portfolio growth and business growth were the priority, but personal growth was an afterthought. And observing that dichotomy over and over within the industry eventually forced me to reflect and identify that conflict within myself. Financial growth was driving my decision-making, and personal growth was being left behind. My gut told me that this deficit in purpose presented an opportunity. And so on the 4th of July, 2017, I left the comfort of a paycheck with the responsibilities of a family with 3 young children under the age of 7 years old, and I made the entrepreneurial leap. And my goal was to transform the financial services industry by emphasizing concepts like design thinking, experiential learning, creativity, emotional intelligence, and mindfulness. And I actually at one point in a meeting said that I aspire to be the quote, Willy Wonka of financial services. Turns out my passion to lead that type of transformation within the industry wasn't matched by industry demand. And my entrepreneurial leap turned into an entrepreneurial flop. As I took inventory of what went wrong and what I was going to do next, I discovered an inspirational story of my great-grandmother, Taka Ushio. As World War II broke out, Taka was a widow in small-town Alliance, Nebraska, with 2 children living in Japan, 4 children living in America, and the responsibility of preserving the legacy of an ancient 1,200-year-old Shinto shrine. Ultimately, she persevered, and her story inspired me to immerse myself into Ikigai, a Japanese philosophy that can be interpreted as your purpose. I quickly realized the impact of Taka's story on my life and the power of narrative in inspiring people to live with more purpose and intention. That's what Ikigai Stories is all about. Along the journey, Jesse Rubin came along as the producer. Jesse is a creative bolt of lightning. He makes this music lead-in. He creates animation.
Do you remember that band Blind Melon?
Oh yeah.
Do you remember the honeybee one where she's like looking for all her other honeybees? And then she opens the gates and all her honeybees starts dancing. That's what it felt like when I moved to Hawaii.
He produces every episode and makes everything sound incredible. Since he prefers to be behind the scenes, I had to strategically ambush him to bring his story to life. Here are a couple high points from our conversation. Hello.
Hey, what's up, Sam?
How are you doing?
Good, I was told to go with it. How you doing?
Can you close the door and just sit down, please? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm going to ask you just some questions. Lightning round questions.
All right.
Okay? This is no big deal. All right?
It looks like a big deal. You gotta stand.
So question number 1, where are you from?
Los Angeles.
Okay. Question number 2, how old are you?
23.
What year were you born?
1995.
Oh, that's what I thought. That's the year I graduated from high school, man.
Oh, yeah.
The bumper, is that what it's called?
Mm-hmm.
The music
it's saved as the Curtis Blow beat.
So can you talk about that?
Yeah, I over winter I had composed I composed a piece of music for Sam, and it was slick, man. It was awesome. And he responded with, "It's too Japanese." And I said, "Dude, your name is Sam Ushio. This podcast is called Ikigai Stories. What do you mean it's too Japanese?"
I believe I said it's too Asian.
It's too Asian.
Yeah.
And so he's like, you can't be predictable, man. You got to keep it mixed up. So he was like, "Can you make it something like Curtis more like Curtis Blow style. And I was like, oh. So I had to go on Spotify and listen to some Curtis Blow stuff. And then I kind of got the vibe and composed the beat. And that's what you hear when you boot up any Ikigai Stories podcast.
Why do you love audio so much?
It's not just audio. And I remember when whoever told you that, I think it was probably Corey.
Mm-hmm.
I said I love audio because obviously getting on a podcast is really important to love audio, but I love anything that has to do with audio production, including, like microphones and recording voices, but it also has to do with music and mixing and equalizing and compression.
Tell me about the studio apartment. It's kind of a pun, isn't it?
Totally.
Yeah, I didn't realize that until right now.
Yeah. So got my bed, I've got my kitchen, and then I've got my recording studio, all within the same area, kind of. I want everything to be as easy to access as possible. The idea of like having an idea and then having to turn everything on and hook it all up, I feel like hampers creativity. And so,
if you could go to dinner tonight with one musician, living or dead, who would it be?
That's tough. I don't know if I like really ever like memorialize one musician. I'm trying to think though, who'd be able to buy me the best dinner? I don't know. That's a really. I don't know how to answer that question.
It's about the food. It's not about
I don't
the
know.
company.
I mean, it's.
Why did you raise your hand for this podcast?
Well, that's a good question. I think it's one of those things where like, big picture would be, and this is something I've been thinking about recently with a lot of things, is that for everything going on in the world, like everything you see that you wish you could do, someone's out there doing it and making money doing it. And I just think that, like, why not me? For me, what's really important is raising your hand is important because it means that you're willing to learn and try something new. And even though I had this fairly extensive knowledge of how to record and how to make recordings sound better than whatever the raw audio was, I had never done it for somebody else, and I had never done it to where, hey, your name's going to be on this and you're going to have a responsibility. And that was enticing to me, and it's probably what I want to do long term in my life. So I think it's really important to just start doing it, and the rest will happen. I mean, my main goal would probably be like to find bands to record, podcasts to work on, stuff like that, if that makes sense.
Yep. Let's talk about animation real quick.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I've always been a doodler, and I was always drawing and stuff, and I was just like on YouTube, like watching. I was in a YouTube rabbit hole one night, just you're laying in bed and you got your phone and it's charging, so you're just like on top of the world, and I'm just watching these different like animations on YouTube that people do, and they do it to music and stuff like that. I was like, that's so cool. Yeah. I wish like I had animations to go with my music.
So how long did it go from I'm streaming nonstop, I'm in the YouTube rabbit hole, to I'm making my own cartoon?
Oh, like
your first one.
48 hours.
So you just dove in?
Yeah.
Okay. Is there anything else you want to share? I'm out of questions.
No, I didn't know I was coming here to do this. I thought we were talking about the podcast.
We're going to. Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I'm going to hit nothing else?
Yeah. Where's that going?
It's going to the world. You want to say hi to the world?